Hi, my name is Drew, N1ER or N1er for you ham types. You know, I'm a lot like you. I have things in life that I love doing, and I've discovered that if you find a way to make those things intersect, life is even more awesome. You may think that hogs and ham radio can't go together. Well, I'm here to change your mind. There are other things that I enjoy doing as well. For instance, I love watching my kids play sports, play in band, and live life. I love working in ministries and with underprivileged groups. And you know what? I love Georgia Tech, the Atlanta Braves, and yes, the X-Files. I'm here to answer all sorts of questions and show you how your passions can intersect. We'll talk hogs and hams, but also drink some bourbon and play some D&D, so join me on this episode of Hogs and Hams. Hi, N1er, Drew again. This is our third part in a three-part series on HamExamGen. We're joined once again with Brandin Hess from the Aurora Amateur Radio Group. And in this third part, he's going to answer all your questions on, okay, you got me. I'm interested. I want to get involved with this HamExamGen. What do I need to do? He's going to talk about who you need to contact, how you need to contact them. He's going to go over price. He's going to go over all the questions that you have if you are to the point where you're like, I want some more information. I want to get involved. I want to use this software. So without further ado, let's talk to Brandin Hess, and he's going to tell us all about how you can get in contact with him to start using HamExamGen for your VE needs. All right, everyone, back with Brandin for one last time. We're going to talk about, hey, I'm a VE, or hey, I'm a club, or hey, I'm a VEC, and we're interested in using this platform. Brandin, how can they get in contact with you? Kind of like, what is, if there's any, is there a subscription plan, monthly, yearly? What does that look like? How do people get involved with the HamExamGen software?
Yeah, so to begin, the one thing that we'll tell people right up front is we have two tiers of service that are available to volunteer examiner teams. So the free service is very restrictive. Now, mind you, you have all the features of the platform online, and the free service restricts you to only doing online web-based exams. You are restricted to one active session and one pending session at a time. So the free service is something that you might benefit from if you do testing once a month. If you do testing, or even testing every 6 months or whatever, if you do testing quarterly, this is a good option for you to have one active session going and one pending session for those that don't do testing very often. Now, conversely, if you like doing a lot of testing sessions, if you like doing a lot of exam sessions monthly, or let's say you're doing, remote testing and you want to use our platform for it, which we welcome anyone to use it, we do ask a monthly service charge of $15. That $15 a month gives you unlimited access. You can advertise and list as many sessions as you want, and also the $15 monthly fee for our platform also gives you the ability to have our off-grid service. And I'll talk a little bit about the off-grid service here in a few minutes, but in order to be eligible for the off-grid service, you have to be an actively paying monthly subscriber to our platform. Again, $15 a month gives you everything, including access to the off-grid system. Now, people might ask, well, what is required for the off-grid system? We're going to talk more about that. We're going to talk about what the price is for getting set up with the off-grid system here in a few moments. But let's talk a little bit about when we are going to be available to accept new clubs, onboard new clubs, and what we have to do in order to make all this happen. So the first thing I'm going to tell everybody up front is we are opening this up for the very first time. We are going to be learning right alongside you. And also, I will be very transparent in saying it's just two of us running a platform at the moment. It's just two of us who are responsible for making sure the back end continues to run as it's supposed to. And we are volunteers. We are not getting paid to do this. I want to make that evidently clear. We are not being paid to run this platform. We are doing this as a volunteer service because we love what we do. We love being able to administer a 21st century exam on a platform that's so lightweight it can run on anything. That's what we're here for. So in our willingness to open this up, in our willingness to learn right alongside you as we continue to grow this, I need you all to be very understanding that there will be a little bit of patience required in the onboarding process for new clubs, new VECs. So right now, as it stands today, we are going to begin accepting what we call early bird applicants on the 15th of February of this year. And we will, so for those of you who are technologically savvy, who want to try it out, we will begin onboarding you as early as the 15th of February. Now, we will open it up to anyone, anywhere by the 5th of March, 2022. Now, to be onboarded, you need to have written permission from your volunteer examiner coordinator indicating that they are permitting you to use HamExamGen for the purposes of administering amateur radio license examinations. If we don't have that permission from your VEC, we can't onboard you into our platform. So that's the number one thing. Right now, as it stands today, we are going to set an expectation that at least 2 to 4 weeks have to pass in a probationary period, meaning we're going to put you on our beta platform first, which is essentially identical to what you'll see in production, but we're going to put you on our beta side first, so you can get the hang of the platform, learn the features, learn the ins and the outs of it. And then once you've proven to us that you can run some sessions without our supervision or without soliciting tech support, for lack of better words, we will then give you the ability to run your session in production without any strings attached. So 2 to 4 weeks is about the time that we're looking at for a probationary period. Some people might take a little longer. Some people might go a lot faster. But the one thing we need everybody to be aware of also is we will only be updating clubs every other weekend. And so basically the second and fourth weekend of every month we'll be doing our club updates and our VEC updates. They won't be happening every day. We all have jobs. We still work for a living. And we are doing this on our spare time as a service to the amateur radio community. So that's why we say the second and fourth weekend, give or take, is when we'll be doing our updates for clubs and new VECs. If you're a brand new VEC that wants to get onboarded with us, if you want to use the generic documentation that we have, we anticipate 1 to 3 weeks of onboarding time for a new volunteer examiner coordinator. And again, even with the 1 to 3 weeks of onboarding time to get your documents squared away, get logos, get your logos and all that sort of thing sorted out, 1 to 3 weeks to get everything in place. And again, you're still falling into the same release schedule as other clubs, second and fourth weekend of the month. And then VECs who are requiring custom documentation for our platform will take up to 30 days, maybe more, and is subject to an individualized agreement, which means if you're a VEC that wants to use our platform, that wants to use your documentation in our platform, be advised it's going to take a lot of extra time on our part to get these documents ready for use in HamExamGen. So we say 30 days. It could be more. Your patience is going to definitely be necessary for that. If you find that our existing documentation templates are going to work for you, then we can have you set up in as little as 1 to 3 weeks. So keep that in the back of your mind. Again, we're learning right alongside you. So this is we're basically walking on uncharted ground here. We're wanting to expand this. We want other people to have the opportunity to use it, and so we don't want to just simply keep it all for ourselves. And so your patience and your cooperation will be greatly appreciated. And I think at the end of the day, you'll find it totally worthwhile. So that's my parting word on that. If you are already a VE team with the ARRL VEC, since we've already got their stuff in our platform, which is who the Aurora Amateur Radio Group is currently using, we can have you set up in as little as 7 to 10 days. Could be faster if you catch us on the right day of the week. I won't tell you what day of the week that is because I don't want to be flooded on one particular day. But if you catch us the right time, we could have you on board in as little as a few days. But don't expect that to be the case every single time. So 7 to 10 days is the expectation that we want to set for new teams with the ARRL VEC. Same procedure. We need to have documentation from the ARRL in Newington, Connecticut, authorizing you to use our platform. And again, that's for any VEC. I got to have an authorization. If I don't have an authorization, I can't do anything for you. That's our way of covering ourselves. It's a liability measure, and I think anybody who's wanting to do something like this fully understands that we have stuff that we got to do to keep things on the up and up.
Absolutely.
And that's really what it boils down to. So let's talk a little bit about our off-grid system. So our off-grid system, at the present moment, we are the only known platform in the United States with the capability of running off-grid. It's a pretty cool honor to have. Nobody else in the country that we know of is even thinking about doing something like this, and that's totally fine because a lot of people are so focused on strictly web-based testing. Well, when we conceived this platform, we conceived it solely for the purpose of being off-grid. We didn't realize that we were going to be administering exams to over 1,100 happy people with our platform since we launched it in February of 2021. So the off-grid system, as I mentioned before, you must be on our paid monthly subscription to be able to use it. You can't be on the free service. You have to be paying us the $15 a month. That allows us to keep our servers going. It allows us to keep the doors open. Allows us to keep our minor expenses paid to ensure that you've got an outstanding exam platform to work with. At this particular moment, our launch date for the off-grid platform is the 15th of July, 2022. So 15th of July this year is what we plan to have for our launch date for our off-grid platform for the general public. I have 2 systems already out there being used today. One of them I have myself, and the other one is with another group of VEs that are in our organization, and it's working well, but we want to make sure that everything is copacetic. If you want a pre-taste of our off-grid platform, as early as the 18th of June, we will open it up for teams to play with our off-grid platform and kind of get a hang of it. If you're interested in the off-grid platform, once you've been using our platform for web-based testing for a while, if you have a Raspberry Pi that has at least 512 megs of RAM in it, so the Raspberry Pi B3 will do it. We've even run it on a Raspberry Pi, the little Pi Zero, I believe is what they call it. Mm-hmm. We've actually run the platform on a Pi Zero. It's pretty slow, but guess what? It still does work. So if you've got at least a Raspberry Pi B3 or 3B or whatever they are, that is very sufficient for this platform. Running off grid runs very well. So if you have one of those or even the newer Raspberry Pi, you're good to go. But if you want just the SD card from us, from HamExamGen with our platform preloaded on it, we do charge $15, and we'll probably charge you shipping and handling, which is whatever it costs to take it over to the post office and mail it to you. If it costs more than $2, then something is wrong with the U.S. Postal Service, and I got to have a chat with them. So the other thing, too, is if you want a Raspberry Pi preloaded with our off-grid platform, we're going to ask for roughly $75 for that because we're going to preload the platform and make sure you've got a Raspberry Pi that we know has already been proven to work for the off-grid platform. So $75 for that. The one thing is you will need to provide your own wireless access point. If you want us to provide you a wireless access point, we'll probably charge you a little extra for that. I don't have the price on it yet because we haven't really made it that far. But to tell you right now, the Raspberry Pi, $75 plus shipping, and then the micro SD card, if you've got a Pi of your own, $15 plus shipping and handling. As of right now, the one thing that will tell VE teams, if you're going to use the off-grid platform especially, you need to have a little bit of knowledge of Linux. The Raspberry Pi runs on Raspbian OS, which is a Debian-based Linux operating system,
Mm-hmm.
and there will be some things that you have to do in the background at times, and we want to make sure that you've got enough understanding to do that. So the off-grid platform does require some technical expertise, but there's no reason why we couldn't walk some of these people through it. There's no reason why we couldn't offer assistance at any particular time. And, again, the off-grid system is not for the faint of heart. There is some work that has to be done by the lead VE to set it all up. But if you're willing to do it, hey, you've got a system that can be deployed anywhere. I mean, the ability to administer a paperless exam without even having to connect to the internet is still such a far-fetched concept for many. They still can't wrap their minds around it. Well, we conquered that, and come July of this year, it'll be fully available to all of our VE teams who are patronizing our platform and want to use it in the field
Awesome.
in person, and I'm looking forward to that myself. So with that being said, if you want to contact us, we have 2 email addresses that I'll give you. So if you're a new club and you're with the ARRL VEC, or you're a club that's with a VEC that's already been established in our platform and you want to join us, you can submit your questions or your comments or your concerns to clubinfo at HamExamGen.com. Again, that is clubinfo, all one word, at HamExamGen.com. Also, if you are a new VEC and you want to get your VEC up onto our platform, you can shoot us an email, which is vecinfo at HamExamGen.com. Again, vecinfo at HamExamGen.com. That's the email address that we would ask you to use if you're definitely wanting to set up full-time as a new VEC on our platform. We'll be doing some communicating back and forth as far as getting information from you to generate your documentation and get you guys fully onboarded. And then, of course, if you want to reach out to us on IRC, you can if we do have an IRC connection. I know a lot of people think, well, IRC is old and antiquated. Well, that's fine. I don't mind old and antiquated because I know it works. You can connect to our IRC server, which is irc.aarg.club. That's India Romeo Charlie .alpha Alpha Romeo Golf .Charlie Lima Uniform Bravo. You can join the channel #HamExamGen. And we'll make sure that's fully up and running before the middle of the week. But if you have any questions, join us on HamExamGen, and we'll be happy to get you all sorted out. So with that, I have nothing else to cover, Drew, unless you have any particular questions that you'd like to ask that you think might be pertinent to any of your viewers. I'll be happy to answer them for you.
No, I think you actually touched everything, Brandon, and I just want to say thank you and wish you best of luck as you put this, this software out there to everybody. First of all, thank you. Thank you for making it available. Thank you for taking the time to create it, and thank you for pushing the hobby forward. In a lot of different ways. I mean, like you said, there's no one else that's going to have an off-the-grid remote testing system. So, I applaud you for the vision on that and wish you nothing but luck going forward. And hopefully, this platform can be adopted by a lot of people and used hopefully all around the world to do what it needs to do.
I think it will. The one thing that, like I said, has set us apart is the absolute lightweight concept and the ability to say we've got a full-featured exam platform that is 110% paperless, and it to have all these features at less than 10 megs of total size. I mean, if you think about it, you're talking maybe 6 3.5-inch floppy disks. That's what our platform fits on. I mean, most of these other platforms out there, I'm not going to bash them, but the amount of space they take up, they're very bloated.
Sure.
And obviously they have features that we may not have. But at the end of the day, we wanted something that was exceptionally lightweight and can run on anything. And we've accomplished that with stride. We've accomplished that. And so I guess the takeaway for me being the co-developer of HamExamGen, is we have a platform that can appeal to the modern volunteer examiner team who's technologically savvy, who's very, very high up on their understanding of computers and technology and exam administration. This platform definitely appeals to those kind of people. And then on the other hand, on the opposite side of the spectrum, with a little bit of training and a little patience, which I have plenty of, this platform can appeal to even the older style folks who don't want all the fluff, all the bloatness, all the thousands of features, but want something that works. And this platform appeals to that group of people too. And I think, now that we've been using it as a club for coming up on a year now, I think it's safe to say that we have been able to truthfully see some of the most amazing service in remote testing come from this platform. And this platform has been used on 4 of the 7 continents, and it's about to be deployed on a 5th continent that I won't highlight right now because I don't want to get anybody too excited over this yet. But we are definitely making strides with this platform, and it's my highest pleasure to offer this to the public and to offer this to other VE teams who may be tired of another exam platform and they just want something that's lightweight. And for me, the biggest thing is being able to provide that personalized support. A lot of platforms out there don't provide that personalized support. They want you to be, on a particular server or a chat service. We ask people to get on IRC, but you don't necessarily have to get on IRC. I mean, just shoot us an email and we'll get back to you. It's pretty simple. But the biggest thing too, also, is we're volunteers. We don't give rapid responses, but at the end of the day, we still render a service as far as providing support that is seemingly lacking with a lot of other platforms out there. So, we welcome anyone that wants to use it, and there's no strings attached. I mean, I've laid out there what we require and what we ask for, and it's up to you as a VE team. If you want to use it, we welcome you with wide open arms. If you don't, that's also fine with us. I'm not offended in the slightest of what your ultimate decision happens to be.
Absolutely, and thank you for joining us today, Brandin. Once again, this is Brandin Hess with the Aurora Amateur Radio Group and also HamExamGen, software, VE testing tools. So use those emails that Brandin gave you. Reach out to him, contact him. If you have any questions, I'm sure there'll be questions. He'll be more than happy to answer them for you and get back to you. Thanks, Brandin. Thanks, Brandin. As always, thank you for giving kind of like the highlights of the pricing structure and giving out the contact info, which I'm going to put down in the comments below, on how you can get in contact with Brandin and talk to him about HamExamGen and getting that software and getting involved with that and using that for your testing needs. So, what is our to-go nugget for today? I guess the to-go nugget that I kind of want to highlight on this is just be a service to others. Brandin has done a lot for the hobby, I feel, and I'm sure there are others out there that feel the same way that I do. Brandin has really helped to push technology to help forward the amateur radio hobby, and I appreciate him for that. But one of the things that I think is really neat is just the fact that Brandin is just charging like a minimum fee to get this basically off the ground, right? He has such a cool software, and sometimes I get frustrated with the price of all the slick ham radio software that's out there. I know that there are logging softwares that are hundreds of dollars, and they have monthly options, and they're super expensive, and there are some softwares out there that are free, but those are becoming harder to find, and even things that cost $10-20 a month or something are really hard to find, and usually those are dumbed down versions. But I think the pricing point that Brandin has really put out there is going to make him not only competitive, but I just want to point out that it really is just a service to all the people that are out there that have this need. So I'll just encourage you, if you're watching this video, give Brandin a call, talk to him. You know, if it's something that you want to use, more power to you. I think it's a really slick tool. And as being, you know, a volunteer examiner with the group, I can personally vouch for it and say that it is a really great software. It has helped a lot of people. And I think he pointed out in one of the videos that over 1,100 people have gotten their amateur radio, their tech license, their general license, or their extra license, you know, through this testing platform. So thank you, Brandin, for everything that you do. Thank you for offering the service. And everyone, just go out there and whatever it is that you can be a service to your fellow man, cling on to that, hold on to that, and do that. I just applaud you, all you human beings out there that are doing, you know, great things in your life. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for Brandin, and 73. And we'll talk to you next time on Hogs and Hams.